Where are you guys?
Canada.
Ontario.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking you were in the States.
No.
Okay, guys, here we go. We're about to get this thing kicked off here. It looks like it says that we're live. So here we go. We're going to talk today. We've got Mike, we got Joe and Debbie, we got Kyle, and everybody here in the Champion CEO group. We want to talk a little bit about the live event. Now, funny enough, though, we're not talking so much about the live event right now of what's coming up. We want to talk about what did these guys get out of coming to the live event? What were some of the thoughts that were in their mind that they were thinking of not coming to the live event? Now, this could have been, in Joe and Debbie's case, going way back in time. Their the beginning journey was them deciding on coming to an event. So we're going to go through everybody here, and it's going to be an open discussion around, what were some of the things that were going through their minds as far as the obstacles or let's maybe look at it as limiting beliefs around, thinking, hey, I'm on the fence. Should I come to this event? Shouldn't I come to this event? Like, is it really going to be worth it? So welcome, everybody. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So let's talk a little bit about, we'll just start from left to right here. So Mike, tell us a little bit about, your mindset of, coming to the client event last year. What were some of the things that were maybe holding you back from coming to the event?
Well, when I got on with PFC and I heard there was a live event, my first thought in my mind was, it's a waste of my time because I don't know what this program is going to offer. Am I going to take 2 days and fly to Ottawa and go sit with a bunch of people and not get anything out of it? That was the first thing that came to my mind. And it was quite the contrary.
Right. So the first thing that was on your mind holding you back was, is this thing going to be even valuable?
That's right. Yep. Right. What's the value?
And what was it? Was it something in the past? Again, we're talking about the client event. If you're on the fence, if you're thinking about, hey, should I come? Shouldn't I? You definitely want to listen, pay close attention. These are success stories of profit contractors, but part of that success is because they came out to the event. Okay, guys. So with that being said, were there certain things that happened to you in the past that made you think that?
Just being involved in other type businesses like this, looking for help, and it kind of being just a push down your throat sales opportunity with really no community, kind of left a bad taste in my mouth for what PFC really is all about. And it was, that's what it was. Like, is this just another, fly by nice company organization that just wants my money? Right.
Right. And at this stage, you were a client, but you're still in that sort of early stage, right?
Right. Yeah. I just started about 3 weeks. So.
Right. So Debbie, Joe, Kyle, can you guys relate to that thought? Did you have that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I can. With my age, I've seen a few things and experienced a few programs, and some of them are exactly what Mike just talked about. They're just out for money, which obviously you've got to make money, but are the people that are wanting the money, do they have our best interest at heart? And we work hard for our money as contractors, and we want to make sure that we all need mentors, obviously. We can only excel and grow as much as we know to grow, and it's awesome for somebody to challenge us, and that's what we got at last October's event. Perfect. That's what everybody will get in April.
I want to dig more into that, and I want you and Joe, I want Joe and Debbie, I want you guys to comment on that just 1 second. I want to be clear with everybody. The reason that we charge for these events now is so that we can take it to the next level. Okay. For the venue, for the food. I mean, last time we were renting buses, hauling you guys out, to see Peter McGrath's place, all these different things, right? Giving you guys the workbook. It's like, and I'm sharing this because I want everybody listening in on this, is that we are bringing our A game from Profit for Contractors, not to make any money on this, but basically we take that and we invest it right back in to providing you guys the tools, right? Whether it's, you know, game plans you walk away with, things of that nature. So Debbie and Joe, tell us a little bit about your limiting beliefs around that. I mean, this limiting belief goes way back for you guys.
Well, for me is I've had before PFC, I had someone look over my business, help me in the business, and I can relate. All he wanted was just my money, often they can help me stick around for so many months and flip my business and take off, and then what? I was at pulling strings. I sat in the parking lot for an event, a live event, and I was like, really? Do I really need this? Is this going to help? It's just another scheme again. And I says, what do I got to lose? And I sat down, I listened, and I said, you know what, this can help me. And sure enough, here we are, and it's helped.
Game changer.
Yeah,
totally. Well, it's literally, you guys have had, I think a lot of people on here, different aspects of it. It's been life changing for you guys, right?
Life changing. And then the whole thing, at the end of the day, you have to accept the help, right? You can't just say, and you have to do it. You can't just come and do it for you at the end of the day.
Yeah. But when you come to an event, and let's get into some of this, like some of the value you guys got. I mean, see, Mike, you mentioned it, and Kyle, you talked about, this. You said this was a little bit surreal. Actually, this right now is a little surreal. Why do you say that, Mike? Why did you say that?
I said this because at the live event, I didn't know anybody, and I heard Joe and Debbie's testimonial and what had happened to them through PFC and how they were able to turn things around. And I said, I want to be like that. How do I do that? Well, you get to work and you start implementing, and all of a sudden, things are turning around for me. And here I am, having a chat with them on live Facebook, and they were an inspiration for me to jumpstart and get to work.
That's right.
Awesome. So, Kyle, can you relate to that?
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. I heard those guys speak, and I could tell that they're just a couple wanting to grow together and grow an awesome business and create a legacy for their children and for their community. And when I heard Peter speak out at the when we were taken out to his plumbing business, the same thing. He and his wife were passionate about what they do, but they were passionate also about profit for contractors and how much Andrew and the staff had helped him.
It's awesome. Yeah. And, it's one thing, guys, for me to say, the value you're going to get out for those listening in. It's another thing that when you're in a room and you're having people that are standing up, telling their story, telling you the strategies that they use, and you're able to literally sit down with them. Yeah. Right. And build this relationship with them and go, oh my God, that you did that. Yeah. Right. So that's awesome. Okay, great. So what, when we look at, let's just talk a little bit about some of the other limiting beliefs. What are some other limiting beliefs, guys, that would hold some people back here from?
Well, also too, is how much is it going to cost me?
That's right.
If your business, the way my business was, I could hardly pay myself, never mind pay someone else now to tell me what to do, right? So that's a limiting belief, like, okay, how's this gonna work? You know what I mean? And it was at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, sugarcoat it. And it's like, okay, you know what? Let's try this and let's see where it gets us. And you know what? You saw right away, after a couple of months, I started seeing my mind change, implementing the things with the guys, and then it helped. And then you start.
I forget what I remember. Now I remember. My wife, she just shakes her head at me. Jesus, Andrew, try to get you to remember to go get a bag of milk. You can't, but man, you can remember all that stuff in that business of yours, right? I'm like, yeah. So here it is. Within 30 days, Joe and Debbie, right, of us implementing some of the things that we covered off in the workshop, like filtering fast.
Yeah.
20 hours a week of dealing with Class D clients, working 80 hours a week. Am I right? Yeah. So that was like, that trigger of that actually happened. Like that process of that plan happened like almost immediately. And the results of that were probably within 2 weeks of you guys letting go of something.
That was the first one. What we did, we just raised our prices to our D clients, and then you dropped off like flies, and no hard feelings.
Love it. Okay, Kyle, you had mentioned last time about you were willing to work in the back.
Yeah.
of the restaurant, that is.
Yeah. Yeah. When we had our restaurants. Yeah.
Why were you so driven to come out to that event?
To the Ottawa event?
Yeah.
Hey, I'd made a commitment to you guys that I would come, that I wanted the coaching, and I made a commitment to myself and my wife and family. And, you know, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? You know, a lot of times we as business owners, we feel somewhat alone, you know, while we're out there, and we can have a staff of 20 people around us and you still feel alone because you think they don't necessarily know or think the way we think. And when you get around like-minded people like you guys, there's power in that. You know, it gives you that it takes away that limiting belief. You know, it's like peeling the layers of an onion off. You know, if you're always on the job, always doing what you need to do in the trenches, tactically, you need some face time with some coaches and like-minded business owners to think a little more strategically, and, you know, just bond a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Well,
Yeah.
I think everybody listening in, you guys tell me what your thoughts were. And no, again, no blarney, like let her rip. Is we put you guys into groups, like we really force that community involvement culture in that event. How did you find the activities and the engagement from that perspective? Maybe elaborate a little bit more, piggybacking off of what Kyle said. Mike, and Debbie and Joe, what was your experience as far as, like, was it working for you? Was it the right environment?
Yeah, it was a perfect environment. It got me outside of myself and working with someone else to build a relationship, right? You know, because when you go in there, you don't know anybody, and you're all there for the same intention, right? You want to work better. So sitting next and being put in a group kind of gets you outside of yourself, gets you outside of your comfort zone, so that you can grow and build relationships with the like-minded people around you.
I love it.
I think what I took from it, and I'm going back to when I first met you in person, Andrew, and the first time that I started to meet everyone, was that, you know, we've always felt like Kyle, very alone and struggling. And when you talk to people, everyone's doing great. How's business? Oh, it's great. How's business? Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. I'm thinking, oh, ours is not fantastic, but
Liars.
Everyone has their max. So when I went the first time we started to go, you almost feel like, you know, I'm here because I know I'm struggling, but I didn't feel embarrassed. I could be who we are. This is, yeah, we've had a business for many years and we're not embarrassed to say we had no money, we were struggling. But I didn't, the first place that was like a safe place that you can actually talk how you feel. And the best part is we're not alone. So everyone has different levels. There's companies with PFC that have been around. It's like we are constantly learning from them. People are learning from us. At the end of the day, we just want to make a life, you know, make a good business and support our employees so that they can have a life and so that you can enjoy your life. But again, being with like-minded people who are struggling or they have successes, we're all sharing and learning from each other. That's the one area that you can actually say, yeah, you know, we had a great year. No, we didn't have a great year. Yeah, we have money. We don't have, and no one, and everyone wants the best for everyone. There's no competition.
There's no judging.
There's no judging.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I find it very safe.
I love that. I love it. Yeah, and I think, you know, it reminds me, you just, I think that's one slide I'll probably never get rid of, is that slide where I talk about taking off the mask, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
Man, that's,
Yeah, because everyone has it.
I hit a nerve there, Mike.
yeah, you did. I forgot about that.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That was the most, that comforting thing I could have heard at that moment in that group, was how real we can be in here, right? Take your mask off. It threw me back. I said, wait a second, right?
Also, Mike attacked me, and I was like, oh, no.
But hearing that from the coach, right, in the team there, about taking your mask off, it's like, it's going to get real in here. We're going to get down to the nuts and bolts of this, so we can start fixing things. We're going to start looking at our problems realistically, and so we can fix them. Take the ego and throw it out the door.
I love it. Like, Kyle, could you relate to that?
I can totally relate to that. You know, pulling the mask off, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that because I'm dealing with my own ego.
Hey, that's what, and that's, you know, when you surround yourself with other people that have, that are there, that are doing it and have done it, you don't feel alone. And that's, I think that's one of the biggest things to say, hey, you know, this is a process. This is real. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're not alone. So guys, before we start wrapping this up, I think a couple of things I just wanted to highlight. So we've got, the topic is financial mastery. I think that's a good one.
I think it's excellent.
Yeah. And does anybody know who's going to be one of the guests?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, exactly. So who's met Bob?
We have.
Okay.
Virtual.
Really
Virtual.
quickly.
yeah,
What's that?
virtually.
Virtually. Love it. So, what would you say in 30 seconds or less, whatever, as far as what you're looking forward to, you know, what you got out of Bob, right? Because everybody in, part of this community, guys, if you haven't already, we at Profit Contractors have invested so that you guys can have a call with Bob. You get one call. You guys have all had your call with Bob, right?
Yeah.
Right. Was it valuable?
Yeah.
Very much.
Okay, let's go, Kyle. What was it? How was it valuable?
Well, not only just meeting with Bob, but also realizing yes, he's been in business for so long. He understands the numbers, but also
He's a chartered accountant and he has a whole bookkeeping company. Yep.
And he's not just doing individuals taxes, he's doing businesses taxes. So he understands the way entrepreneurs
contractors, by the way, heavily.
Contractors, there you go. But when you know your numbers for your business, there's so much liberating power in that. And before I went to Ottawa to the last Profit for Contractors live event, I knew I was making money because I know how to cost jobs and I was running them all myself. But I was so busy running these jobs, I would not take the time to sit there and look at what my bookkeeper was putting in QuickBooks. And when I went to this last event, you hammered on knowing your break even, knowing what your sales are, knowing all the key indicators of your business. And I'm excited about going. I know what's happened in my business just since October. Not that I've applied everything that you've taught.
Well, you can't, dude.
But
yeah, right.
But I'm excited that this 2-day event is going to be specifically about the numbers.
Yeah, and Bob's going to be one of the speakers.
Yeah, and he's going to be a speaker and learning the financial mastery of our business.
So Debbie, Joe, you guys had your session with Bob. Again, everybody, what Bob does is he sits there on a call with you guys privately. He goes through your profit and loss statement. It doesn't cost you a bloody penny. I think it's roughly, he charges like $1,200 for a session like this. But we've Profit Contractors sponsoring that for you guys because we want to. It's one thing for me to be talking about the numbers, and I understand numbers pretty good, but it's another thing to actually have a chartered accountant on the call who has a large accounting firm that does the bookkeeping and everything, right? So Debbie and Joe, tell us just briefly about your insights, what you got out of the briefly call with Bob, and why would you be excited about seeing him live down at the event?
Well, we had one meeting with him, and Joe and I had already decided, being in business for 20 years with the same accountant, we knew where we were going. We needed to change, but we just didn't know where to go to. You brought that on. We're like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. He came to us. Had our first call, changed, let go of our previous accountant, and within weeks, we've been working closely. He's already saved us a ton of money. We haven't even done our taxes yet, and we're going down the path that's like, this is how it should be.
How much do you think you saved with just that call?
Oh,
I'd say over 30, 40,000.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So anybody listening in, you might want to take, I know you guys are all part of the family here, but just because you're part of the family doesn't mean you take action and have a call with Bob. Secondly, that was a 1 hour call with Bob. We're going to be doing 2 days of financial mastery. I think it might be worth your while. I know my sarcasm hopefully doesn't offend anybody, but I'm serious. If you're thinking to yourself, can I afford this? this is my personal opinion, guys. You
Well,
cannot afford not to
You know
come.
what?
Let me put something out there. Not talking bad about my account, the previous account. It's just that where my business is taking next step, I think maybe it's a relief to him that the company's growing and he can't handle what we were doing. So it was no hard, and it was a friend, so that's even harder for us
Right.
to let go, right?
Yeah.
So it was right time, right place.
Bob knows our vision. Our vision is, with our vision with PFC and our personal business vision, we want to grow. And Bob sees it, and everything he talks about, we have the same language.
Love it.
So we're going down a path, and he knows where we want to go. We're in the middle of doing something right now, which is really exciting, but we want to do this virtual CFO. We're so, we're in the middle of talking back to each other. And just the bookkeeping services, can I point out?
Yeah.
Sometimes I needed something from my, it would never get done. The other day, we had to take care of something that was kind of like not fun to do. And I sent it off to the bookkeeper, and I said, hey, Shelly, blah, blah, blah. She emailed me back within a day, done. I was like, wow, it's done.
Funny enough, I've experienced the same thing.
Yeah. So let's just say, if you wanted your business to continue to grow, you got to have the right team with you.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing.
What is it? What does all this have anything to do with the event?
What has to do with the event? We're gonna have right people at the event. So if everybody that wants to join this event and you want to get some knowledge out of it, please come.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Mike, what do you got to say about Bobby?
Wow. So yeah, Bob is probably the most professional, kind, and understanding accountant I've ever worked with. I've worked with many of them, but I mean his demeanor, and then to sit with me for an hour and find me about $4,000 a month in cash flow within an hour. I mean that's 40 grand a year right there. And then his proposal was so professional. There's a video recapping what we went over, and it's inspired to me start using that in my business, right? Like, and this is just an accountant. So, seeing him in person and being able to pick his brain in person at a live event, like corner him in for an hour,
2 days,
right? And
yeah, you ever seen somebody get dumped in the ocean, and they're gonna do this thing on sharks, right? And they put them in the cage, and the sharks can't get at them. So Bob's gonna be like hanging from a ceiling, and I'm gonna have him in a cage.
Hopefully he's prepared.
And you guys are gonna be like scratching up.
Because I'm gonna squeeze every bit of juice out of that lemon.
No hacksaws, Kyle.
Hope he's watching.
We're not letting him out.
That's it, man. I'm keeping him in the cage. Okay.
So
you go in, one man goes in, one woman goes in, one person comes out.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm going with that. Okay, cage match. But anyways, so guys, listen. Anybody listening? I know this. I went a little bit longer, but I don't give a shite. This is valuable. I hope you guys come down to it. I'm gonna be doing a couple more of these. These are real people. This is your family, guys. If you're like, we'd like to send down 3 people. Look, make sure you send down 1 person. All right. And if you got a right-hand person, if you're a couple, guys, it's a great opportunity as a couple to come down with other couples. I mean, Debbie, look, you're the only woman on this call here, and tell me straight up, how does it feel being in a room filled with other women that are going through similar things, or that I mean, you tell me. I mean,
you know what? Again, these are contracting businesses which are predominantly men. So being in a room with a few women, it just empowers you that we're united, right? And they are going through the same issues that I'm going through as a husband and wife team. We get to unload and laugh and just totally, it's a stress reliever. And we're all in the same boat, different levels, right?
And I think there's a lot of uniquenesses, okay?
Yeah.
Just something to be heard here. All right, let's call a spade a spade. All right, all you guys on the call, inclusive of me looking in the mirror. A lot of times men will put the emphasis that, hey, this is my business and you're working for me. That's a load of shite, okay? Your wives are just as important, if not more important, because they do a heck of a lot more heavy lifting. Anybody wants to challenge me on this, bring it, okay? They do a hell of a lot more heavy lifting on the home front and on the business front and putting up with our shit, okay? And I think it's something that that I think it's very powerful to say to yourself, hey, I'm just saying from a man's perspective that this is a great opportunity. And for all the ladies listening, and to allow yourself to come down to this thing, to be surrounded by other people that can really relate to you.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't relate to what Debbie has experienced,
And it doesn't have to be a husband and wife team. Like, if the wife's not into the business, I think the husbands should bring their wives and then have the wives want to come so they understand a little bit of what their husbands are going through.
Yeah,
okay, we're fortunate we're a husband-wife team, but you know what? Yeah. There are some out there that are not, and it's nice, and the wife is nice to know to see what the husbands are going through. They don't want to bring the passion, like they're pain home.
That's true.
Right?
Very well said.
We make lifelong friends, I love it.
Cool. All right, guys, listen, gotta wrap this baby up in a package and a bow, tie it up, and then hopefully you guys are gonna open it, those that are on the fence to come down, because it truly is special in so many different ways. It's a great place. There's gonna be lots of things we're gonna do outside of that. Great location for your kids. I mean, I'm bringing my kids, just to let you know. Jennifer's coming down. We're gonna go to Disney, do some of that stuff, and I'm gonna go back, get myself maybe another one of these mugs. I don't know, maybe one of these mugs. I don't know. I think I like it.
No, make a vacation of it.
What's that?
Make a vacation of it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why the hell? Why not? Why not? Even if it's only for an extra day or what have you, get away, be with other people, and have a great time. Anyways, guys, thank you all you lovely fams. And I can't wait to see you guys down there. I can't wait to see everybody down there. I'm going to do a couple more of these so you guys can make sure that everybody listening in, you see the value. Please come. If you got any questions, post them, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Love you guys.
Sure. Bye now.
Peace out.